this first message of time. In this series of stewardship, steward or self, I want to talk about how will God find you? How will God find you? Let me recap before we move to the introduction of the sermon. Steward is one who has been entrusted with something to care for it as if it belongs to him, knowing full well it belongs to someone else. That is the definition of a steward. What shall be the definition of stewardship? Here's the thematic focus throughout this entire series. You need to write it down if you can. If that is what a steward is, then stewardship, church, is the practice of a committed life to God as a result of godly perspective of the resources that God provides. That's what stewardship is. It is the practice of a committed life to God as a result of godly perspective of the resources that God provides. You may ask, what are the resources that God provides that we need to have a godly perspective of in order to practice a committed life to Him? This is resource number one. And for the next couple of weeks, we'll be dealing with the first resource that we must have perspective of, and that is time. Let the church say time. That is time. Let me give you a running definition of what time is, because you're going, since we're going to be talking about time for the next couple of weeks and in this sermon. Time is the commodity that's given by God as a tool of investment for the purpose of developing and maintaining godly and holistic relationships. That's what time is. It is a commodity that's given by God as a tool of investment for the purpose of developing and maintaining godly and holistic relationships. Let me just pause right there to just ponder that for a minute. One of the reasons why life is so unmanageable for many of us as believers, because we don't have godly or holistic relationship with things in reference to time. So if we're going to be good stewards, we need to understand that time is a commodity that belongs to God, that He gives to us with a purpose of developing godly and holistic relationships. And so that's the running definition. Now, let's get by way of introduction. Verse 42 in the text says again, "And the Lord said, Who then is that faithful and wise steward whom his master will make ruler over his household to give them their portion of food in due season? How will God find you?" How will God, at the end of this life, at the end of this age, how will God find